Like they needed
No, no,
things
no.
in them.
I don't like the way this thing is going.
Hmm. Yeah.
Tega, let's talk sports.
All
Let's
right. So
okay.
let's talk sports. So what happened this midweek? A lot of league going on. So there's a league cups happening in England and Italy, and then there's the La Liga going on in Spain. And again, Atletico Madrid playing one of the craziest matches of the week. Dropped another 2 points yesterday. We'll talk about that just a little bit, but we'll be focusing on the Chelsea match. Was Trippier a Chelsea savior or was he a Newcastle traitor? We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about we'll talk about Manchester City at the FIFA Club World Cup. We will also touch on Liverpool taking on West Ham today. All of these and more coming up. But before we do that, Zibby, how can we be a part of the locker room?
Let me sound like Tega. To be a part of the locker room, you can send us a message on WhatsApp 0809 4440981. You can also tweet at Smooth981 or catch the live stream. Hello, live stream on YouTube, Smooth981. That is the live stream.
So, Omas, can we go with the headlines first?
On the bill this morning comes Napoli crash out of Coppa Italia with loss to Frosinone, and there is also Man City ease into Club World Cup final, but must cope without Haaland. There is also Chelsea edge past Newcastle on penalties into League Cup semis. Also, PSG coach Luis Enrique claims perfect relationship with Pape. Then comes Liverpool's Nunez full of fire despite goal drought as Champions League last 16 draw, Man City to face Copenhagen as Arsenal would tackle Porto. Then Nottingham Forest sack Steve Cooper after poor Premier League run. And then there is Tosin Adarabioyo scored the winning penalty for Fulham.
Now, before we go in, just to remind you, we have 2 tickets to give away. We gave out a pair. We gave out 2 pairs earlier in the day, and these tickets are to go see a play, a true Christmas story. So after the first half of the locker room, we'll let you know how you can win those tickets for you at a +1. Tega.
All right. See, it's already raining Christmas here. So we are giving tickets. You guys should be sending in your hampers. All right, let's start with the very first story before we start looking for those hampers.
Serie A champions where Napoli were dumped out of the Coppa Italia in the last 16 on Tuesday following a 4-0 thrashing at home to Frosinone.
So, first things first, 4-0 thrashing. That's number one. At home, that's number two.
Two.
To Frisnone, that's number three. I think, Napoli has brought in some mixed results all season, and this wouldn't have been a surprise, except a lot of people thought that Napoli is beginning to come back to their old selves, and then they lose to Frisnone by 4 goals to nil. Like it was shocking, I'm sure, even to the Napoli players, or sorry, even to the Frisnone players who won the match. Because maybe they would have thought they could have squeezed out a win, but scoring 4 goals, 4 unreplied goals, beating Napoli was the shocker. Not a very good display by Napoli at all, and not anything inspiring confidence, especially following the results. As Mazari, as the new coach coming in, he wants to have back-to-back results, and once you have that, you can boost the confidence of the team. You can boost the team performance from getting good consecutive results. So when you have a brilliant weekend, and then you come midweek and have this disaster of a result, then it just flips your team's performance on its head. So shocking results in the Coppa Italia, but Masari is going to have to find a way to get his team to bounce back, and that's the thing. Is the inconsistency this season. Like I said on Monday, it seems as if every defending champion in most leagues are finding it tough to defend their title. But to lose 4-0 at home to Fresnone. That's a different level. That's a different level of crisis. And so it's something Masari is going to have to look
So
at.
it looks more like a Christmas hamper that Napoli gave out.
Yes, Napoli gave Fresnone. You see this hamper that I want. We'll be
Yes.
inserting it small.
All right, let's move on to Manchester City, who would have to cope without Erling Haaland as they aim to lift the Club World Cup for the first time in Friday's final against Fluminense.
Right. So Manchester won their match yesterday, 3-0. The first match in the FIFA Club World Cup. But they did it again without Haaland. And remember, Pep Guardiola was saying that Erling Haaland was going to be back. He was going to miss Crystal Palace, but they were going to be able to see him at the FIFA Club World Cup. Well, guess what? He has come to confirm that not only is Erling Haaland going to miss this semi-final, which he did miss sitting on the bench, but he's also going to miss Friday's final because he's not yet ready to come back into the team. So huge injury news updates there for Manchester City. However, they found a way to win this match. Let's see if they can go on Friday and win against Fluminense. Now, some people say, based on paper, Manchester City should completely take this one. But football is not played on paper. It's played on the pitch. And with recent results from Manchester United, barring yesterday's results, they've been troubling. And so let's see if they're going to be able to turn this one up. Maybe if they have their hand on a trophy, it remind them of the treble last season, and then they will get the performance and the results to match that, because Manchester City right now is in a dark place and they're just looking for the light from anywhere.
Well, it looks like there's light at the Stamford Bridge from what we see. Chelsea booked their place in the semi-finals of the League Cup on Tuesday when they defeated Newcastle 4-2 in a penalty shootout at Stamford Bridge after the two sides finished the 90 minutes level at 1-1.
All right. So this one, if you have any child that is training as a defender, this was not the match to show them. Because Newcastle's goal came from a horrible mistake by Badashile and Thiago Silva. Ball gets to Wilson, he puts it in the back of the net. So first of all, horrible mistake. Don't show your child this. This is not a clinic for defending. And Newcastle held on to that lead, and they defended that lead until the second minute in added time. They conceded an equalizer in the 92nd minute, 2 minutes away from the referee blowing the final whistle. And it was Trippier. Now, if you remember, Trippier was such a fantastic addition to the team last season. He came back to England, brought back his experience, was kind of leading the team from the behind, setting up goals, giving them the leadership and the solid control in defense. So he did great for them last season. But in the past 3 to 4 games for Newcastle, Trippier has, pretty much been a disaster, short of being a calamity. So he was brought on the pitch yesterday, and he was one that made the mistake that gave away the equalizing goal to Luka Modric. Literally passed the ball to Modric when he could have just turned around and cleared the ball away. Modric scores the goal, equalizer. They go straight into penalties, and Trippier misses his penalty again. Almost as if Chelsea had paid him some undercover salary and decided to do them a favor. But whatever it was, Trippier was literally playing for the other side. And so it's a horrible 1 night you'd want to forget. And if I were Eddie Howe, I'll just keep him out of the team for a bit till he gets back together, because it was not a one-off. He's out of form, clearly, because of the last match performances in the last few matches. So give him a breather. This is Christmas. Let him spend time with his family, think about his life, put him in a quiet corner, because what he did yesterday was horrible. But Chelsea, congratulations to them. I'll say several things for them. They dug in. They found a way to stay in the match, despite the fact that, it looked like the time was running out and they were almost going to be dumped out by Newcastle, who dumped out Manchester United. They just kept pressing and looking for that equalizer. And when the time came to play the penalties, they all played brilliant penalties, including Nkunku, who was missed the season, for the start of the season. And this was his first match since his transfer officially in the regular season. He came in, scored his brilliant penalty during the penalty shootout, and gave them the win and moved them to the semi-final. So I'd say those things for Chelsea. They had the right spirit, they had the right attitude, they had the right approach. But for Newcastle, they'd be kicking themselves because they were literally 2 minutes away from the semi-final.
It's the way you leave that you get most times you don't give us a forewarning of what's to come. Like when you get to leave us with your nuggets inside the locker room management skills. See how you left it here now. You're having a player who's having a bad day on the pitch. You give him a day off or probably the rest of December off to go spend time with family and we'll come back good.
Yeah, so that's the best way to do it. Give him, because he's playing for this is not the first goal he's giving away. Like I said, it's been coming. So let him enjoy Christmas. Maybe his New Year's resolution will be to be a better player. You never know.
All right, 0809 444 981. That is the WhatsApp number. You can also tweet at smooth981. Okay, where are we going? Still in the world of football, of course. Now let's talk about this situation with Chelsea. They booked their place in the semi-finals of the League Cup on Tuesday.
The next.
Okay, let's do PSG. Luis Enrique insists. I'm about to strangle Omas. If you can see that on live stream, and you don't hear from Omas on the other side. Yes, I did.
You know what happened.
PSG coach Luis Enrique insists that he has a perfect relationship with Mbappe. Now, this is despite the French star forward's attitude during recent games, which have raised questions about his happiness or unhappiness at the club.
Well, I would say this, whether he's happy at the club or unhappy at the club, you can't totally put this on Luis Enrique. The results have not been coming and the goals have not been flowing. And yes, he may say maybe his coach is not doing exactly what he's supposed to do. But like somebody said in tennis, you can't put in what God left out. The team is, at best disjointed. And so they are giving a result of a dysfunctional club. It's that simple. And Mbappe had the option to move to Real Madrid, but he chose to sink with this PSG ship, and sink he will. So I understand his frustration. You can't blame the coach for all the chances that PSG missed in Dortmund match, including a few fair chances that fell to Mbappe. And then over the weekend, they drew again. They had a 1-1 draw. And again, Mbappe had a few chances there, and you can't blame Luis Enrique for missing those chances. So I get that he's unhappy, and I often want to say that it's the coach that is making him unhappy. But look, even Luis Enrique knew when he took this job that the person that held the keys to the city was Kylian Mbappe. So even if in Luis Enrique's spirit, he may not be happy with Kylian Mbappe, he better be happy with him in training and on the pitch, because that's where his job is tied to that guy. But yeah, it hasn't been fun times for PSG, and maybe Kylian Mbappe is beginning to feel the heat a little bit, because he's a clutch player. He's the kind of guy you knew that if you left on the pitch, something could happen. But it hasn't shown in the past few games for PSG, and so maybe his frustration is also not just at the team exactly, but also himself. But you know how it is. People are watching from the sidelines, and they're beginning to come up with all these stories. I don't know that he's entirely completely happy with Luis Enrique, because of course, if you are going through a bad time, you'll be looking for someone else to blame too. But I think that some of that frustration is from within, because he hasn't been able to deliver the results in the last few games.
All right. You're listening to The Locker Room on Smooth 98.1. Stay with us. We'll take more of your messages, more sports stories, and we have those 2 tickets to give away right here in The Locker Room. Stay with us.
Hey, what question are we going to ask now?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. So,
this something is long. Oh, I don't know any question. I I'm thinking.
What are the Christmas Day fixtures?
Even me, I don't know.
They're on air.
Even me, I don't know. And it's not Christmas, it's Boxing Day fixtures. But even I don't know. Uh,
Hey, 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 hey.
I will ask the simplest question.
Okay.
The idea is for the fastest person to get it.
Yeah, the first person can get it. So we'll just ask, okay, Manchester City
So
won
we'll
the
give away
Champions League.
two pairs.
Wow, that's 2 questions.
No, it can be one question, but the first two to get it correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll just ask that Manchester City won the Champions League last season. Who did they play against?
Okay. Who did they play against?
Inter Milan. And you're about to read it in the next story, but calm down.
No, do we do it before the story then? We'll do it before the story as soon as we come
We'll
on.
do it before the story. So we'll do the first story. The next story that's coming up is
Okay, Max, I'll let you do this one.
No. The next story that's yeah.
Tega, you know what?
Yeah.
For those who are watching on YouTube, you just give yourself away. No. No way.
That is true.
It has
Tega, you have to type that message. Oh,
Okay, so I'm going to ask a different question. No need to tell him.
okay, yeah. So just ask a different question when we come on.
Omatseye, since we were talking, you did not say anything, or you waited. You and see your eye.
It's very easy to forget these cameras, to be honest. Oh my days.
Because I see the usual suspects. Yes.
Yes.
I see some persons, though they've not sent an answer, but I know they may be alive there. I know they will be unhappy with me this morning, but like, yeah, man. But what are you saying?
No, that's it.
Now, what you were saying, I was going to say something.
I can't remember.
So, anyway. So take out your good, so go back.
Oh wow. Thank goodness.
See, look at it. I said it. The LK was waiting like to see, and he says no.
Omas, okay, would you forgive Omas for this? You would have just won those tickets easily. Blame him.
No way.
Oh my days.
Stay guided.
Wow.
Smooth 98.1 FM. It's still the locker room, and we've got Tega Onojiafe still leading proceedings here, and we've got tickets to give out for some place you need to go see. So, Tega.
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you about the tickets.
So we were almost
Tega,
going to get some. Okay.
Let me tell about the tickets to prepare. You know what they say, you're watering the ground. Right. So this is to play A True Christmas Story. And we have 2 pairs of these tickets to give away. So 2 lucky people can win this and go with their significant others, right? And you can attend any day you want between the 22nd and the 26th of December. And you can attend either at 4 p.m. or 7 p.m. The good news is it's in a central location. This is happening at the main auditorium of the law school, Victoria Island. It's a true Christmas festival, right? So you've got music, you've got theater, you've got fun. Don't say we haven't done anything for you this Christmas. No, because this is what Omas, Tega, and I are doing specially for you. But
yes, and we're waiting for a hamper.
Tega, these hampers. Okay, so this is how it goes, right? We'll ask a question. Tega will be our mouthpiece. Tega would ask the question, and the first 2 correct answers that we get, those will be the winners. So you want to make sure you have the WhatsApp number to respond quickly. 0809 440 981. So once Tega asks the question, send the right answer, and guess what? 2 winners right here.
No limits. YouTube, there are fans over on the YouTube page will also be watching to see that. So give us a like on YouTube. Make sure that leave your comments there.
All right, Tega.
Yeah, and I think they should be able to answer on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube,
yes.
fastest fingers. But if you wanted to cheat, and see how all of them kept quiet when we were discussing at halftime. Meanwhile, they knew the story.
Okay,
so I've changed the question.
That's why they need to be on our YouTube page, because some things will go off,
so that they will have background story. All right,
Excellent.
so I've changed the question. So the question is, and it's a very simple question. Quick, so this is literally fastest fingers. The question is, which country won the last African Cup of Nations? The numbers to send your messages to are
0809 440 981 via WhatsApp. You can post a comment on our live stream on YouTube. You can even tweet at smooth981. All right.
So which country won the last African Cup of Nations?
Okay. We have some answers coming through on WhatsApp. AY from Oniru.
Yeah, then we see that, yes, coming in already. But let's also, so we don't leave out our YouTube family, so it has to go either way. So let's see if we can, if there's anyone stopping in there. Okay, so we've got someone also, an answer from YouTube.
Okay, so, the fastest finger. Who sent first?
This would be via WhatsApp, AY from Oniru.
And what was his answer?
Senegal.
All right, that's the correct answer. The correct answer is Senegal. So AY from Oniru and YouTube, fastest finger.
LK Aderoba says Senegal,
not
fastest
him again.
finger.
These Chelsea people. These Chelsea people. It's Zibby that's making them win. It's Zibby. All right. So LK Aderoba and
AY from Oniru.
All right.
Congratulations. Yes.
Zibby, tell them how to pick up their tickets.
All right. So please send us your full name and LK, we need your phone number. AY, we can see your phone number. Let us know your preferred dates. Remember, either between the 22nd, anywhere between the 22nd and the 26th of December, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So let us know what is your preferred date and time as well, and we'll be in touch. So don't forget your name, your phone number, preferred date and time. Congratulations.
The cruise is just being as cheap as it's
so let's move on to the next couple of stories because we have a lot to go
through. So Liverpool striker Darwin Núñez is on fire heading into Wednesday's League Cup quarterfinals at home to West Ham despite a recent goal drought, according to the team's manager.
Yeah, I think what it is especially after the Manchester United match where Liverpool created chance after chance, cut through Manchester's United's defense, but just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And Núñez was at the center of that. And some people were beginning to question, which is ridiculous because nobody ever asked, oh, has Salah gone back to his drought? But everybody's like, oh, has Darwin Núñez returned to factory setting? All those kind of things just keep coming up. But yeah, he's looking for an opportunity to start putting back the ball in the back of the net so that he can get back into that great scoring format. And this match today or tonight against West Ham United prepares the opportunity for him to do that. I think it's going to be a tough one. First of all, it's a League Cup, so and it's a one-off playoff. It gives both teams an advantage they wouldn't have, playing in the league. I think Klopp is also going to tweak his starting lineup a little bit, just to rest up a few players. So he's going to rotate his starting lineup, and that may give West Ham United an opportunity, to look in. So that means that just sets up for a great game. West Ham United trying to knock out Liverpool, and Liverpool trying to go further in this tournament. So let's see if Darwin Núñez can take advantage and put the ball in the back of the net. So let's see if West Ham gets the opportunity to knock Liverpool out.
All right, let's go on to Champions League last 16. Manchester City will play Copenhagen in the last 16 of the Champions League, and Arsenal will face Porto.
All right, so the Champions League draws came out, and let me shock you. So after everybody they showed the qualified teams, everybody that I know of, and I know a lot of people in football, but everybody that I know said Manchester City were going to get Copenhagen. Because for some reason, Manchester City just gets favorable draws in the Champions League. So everybody I knew of was like, Copenhagen is for Manchester City. That's usual. Shockingly, Manchester City gets Copenhagen when the draws actually happen. So yeah, they were always going to get a favorable fixture. They've done that. Arsenal Porto seems like a very tricky one for the fact that Porto may be difficult to beat in Portugal. So Arsenal needs to do the job at the Emirates. If you ask me, that's where I think they have the upper hand. That's where I think they can, I think they can annihilate Porto at the Emirates. But that is tricky. because Arsenal can have a game again like the weekend where they created 15 chances in one half and didn't score goal. But I think at home they should be able to destroy Porto. Going away is a tricky one. So let's open the phone lines now. Of all the draws, Napoli, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, who is Lazio playing now? Lazio is playing Bayern Munich. Which fixture do you think is the toughest one? The numbers to send your messages to are
0809 440 981, and the phone number is 01 4489 981.
all
01
right. So just tell me,
4489 981. That's the phone
of
number.
all the fixtures, which one stands out as tricky to you? Napoli, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, Lazio, Bayern Munich. Give us your thoughts.
While we wait for them to do the lottery to see which is tricky for them, let's pick up this one from Nottingham Forest. And Nottingham Forest have sacked their coach, that's the manager, Steve Cooper, with former Wolves boss Nuno Espirito Santos, if you want to say amen after that, in talks to replace him.
You tried.
That sounded like Nuno Holy Spirit.
So that's his name, actually.
Yeah.
His name is Espirito. So, anyways, but we come to it. The second manager to be fired this season after Heckingbottom of Sheffield is Cooper, and a lot of people were saying that it looked like they wanted to sack Cooper because it's not like Nottingham Forest are really bad, but they have been really bad. They're 17th on the table for a reason. They've been losing left, right, and center. So a sack was going to come. Some people would have expected it to be Eric Ten Hag, but he redeemed himself against Liverpool. Even if it was a draw, it was a redemption. So Cooper is the next head on the chopping block, and he's out. And let's see if Nuno can revive the Nottingham spirit, because they didn't do too poorly last season, and they didn't start this season very badly. But I think once Awoniyi picked up his injury, they lost their shape up front, and it became a little easier for teams for them to not score against other teams, and that's where their trouble is. It's not the concession of goals, it's the scoring of goals.
So regarding your question, Ayo from Festac is saying, I think Inter Atletico is the toughest. That's according to Ayo from Festac.
Okay.
And let's see if our family on YouTube got
There's still
anything.
PSG from PSG versus Sociedad. So when you're making your predictions, let us know.
Okay, but then that takes us to our final story.
Marco Silva hails special player Tosin Adarabioyo after the defenders scored the winning spot kick as Fulham beat Everton on penalties to reach the Carabao Cup semi-finals for the first time.
Yes, yesterday was also really tricky. Fulham took the lead, and I thought, okay, Fulham is going to knock out Everton, and it will be good for Everton because Everton they're still upset about losing points due to that financial sanctions that they got, and so climbing back on the Premier League table is already a tough task. To now add the League Cup semi-finals would have been a journey too far. But they equalized, and this game went all the way to penalties, and Everton looked like they were going to win the penalty because they scored all 4 penalties. Fulham had missed one of their 4 penalties, and it was for Onana to just score that penalty and it will be game over. Everybody will be in a shower, Everton be in the semi-finals. He goes there, and he didn't just miss. The goalkeeper caught his penalty. That's how the goalkeeper caught his penalty and cradled it. That's how weak that penalty was. But it went on from there, and eventually Fulham won that match. So congratulations to Fulham. They are in their first ever semi-final in the League Cup.
That's fine, please. Let's pick up messages as we wrap up now. We've got some crews saying Barca, Napoli, not the toughest, but the biggest banana peel. So watch out for it now.
Yep.
Mayawa from Bagada has got this one saying Napoli versus Barcelona, Inter Milan versus Atletico Madrid are the top fixtures, while PSG and Real Sociedad and Porto versus Arsenal are a bit tricky, more like banana peels once again.
All right. And on that note, we want to say thank you for sending your messages on WhatsApp. Thank you for watching us on YouTube and sending in your messages. Thank you for tuning in to us today. And also for those that want tickets, you should tell us thank you in your private time.
And don't forget to send us your phone numbers, your preferred date, and your preferred time. The WhatsApp number again, 0809 440 981. LK Aderoba, AY from Oniru, we await your messages.
All right. On that note, thank you very much for joining us. See you again on Friday.
Aspire to Maguire.